All right, let's put the spotlight back on the Delhi NCR region, which continues to be covered in a thick blanket of smog. Delhi's air quality remains at alarming levels, leaving people gasping for breath with itchy eyes, sore throats, and unable to breathe. But our political class locked in a blame game. BJP Neta staged a mega protest in the capital against the Delhi government's incompetence, while the Delhi government has sought the centre's intervention for cloud seeding in the national capital, calling the need of the hour to tackle the pollution emergency.
आर्टिफिशियल रेन के लिए केंद्र सरकार की जो अनुमति चाहिए, उसके लिए हमने इस बार अगस्त के महीने से हमने संवाद शुरू किया, प्रयास शुरू किया। अगस्त में हमने चिट्ठी लिखी, जवाब नहीं आया, फिर सितंबर गया, फिर अक्टूबर गया, नवंबर आ गया। मैं आपको इस बात को बताना चाहता हूं कि आज हमने जो ये इमरजेंसी चिट्ठी लिखी है कि इमरजेंसी मीटिंग बुलाई जाए, मैं प्रधानमंत्री जी से भी निवेदन करना चाहता हूं कि इसमें हस्तक्षेप करें। इस मीटिंग की बहुत जरूरत है। पूरा उत्तर भारत आज प्रदूषण की चपेट में है और इसमें भारतीय जनता पार्टी की सरकार को भी गंभीरता से काम करने की जरूरत है। इतनी लापरवाही ठीक नहीं है।
मैं आतिशी मार लेना पर आरोप नहीं लगा रहा हूं, उनको आईना दिखाता हूं। वो दूसरे राज्यों की बात करती हैं। कल 18 नवंबर का सरकारी आंकड़ा उठा लें, हमारा नहीं है ये, उनकी सरकार का, ये पंजाब सरकार का। कल अकेले पंजाब में 1251 घटनाएं दर्ज हुई हैं पराली जलाने की, और यूपी में 133, हरियाणा में 38। तो दिल्ली की हवा में पराली का जो जहरीला धुआं है वो पंजाब की आम आदमी पार्टी की सरकार की देन है। पंजाब की सरकार की आपराधिक लापरवाही देखिए कि 2.25 लाख से ज्यादा मशीनें जो पराली रोकने के लिए थी वो वहां से गायब हो जाती हैं। 38 करोड़ से ज्यादा पैसा दिया जाता है नेशनल क्लीन एयर प्रोग्राम में पंजाब की सरकार को, वो खर्च नहीं करते हैं। तो दिल्ली की आम आदमी पार्टी की सरकार हो या पंजाब की आम आदमी पार्टी की सरकार हो, दिल्ली को इस बद से बदतर हालत में लाने के लिए ये दोनों जिम्मेदार हैं।
Yesterday, I had spoken to the Delhi Chief Minister, Atishi, and this is what she had to say on the idea of cloud seeding, artificial rainfall, which is desperately needed now in the national capital region.
वाटर सीडिंग की आपकी कोई तैयारी है?
देखिए, हम लगातार केंद्र सरकार से बातचीत में हैं और मैं तो अपील करूंगी सेंट्रल गवर्नमेंट को। आर्टिफिशियल रेन ने कई बार खास करके मिडिल ईस्ट में इसको यूज किया गया है, दुबई वगैरह में यूज किया गया है पोल्यूशन लेवल्स कम करने के लिए, लेकिन दिल्ली में आर्टिफिशियल रेन लाने के लिए बहुत सारी परमिशंस सेंट्रल गवर्नमेंट की चाहिए होती हैं, डिपार्टमेंट ऑफ सिविल एविएशन की चाहिए होती हैं, डिफेंस की चाहिए होती हैं। आर्टिफिशियल रेन का सारा खर्चा उठाने के लिए दिल्ली सरकार तैयार है। हम उम्मीद करेंगे केंद्र सरकार हमें जरूर कोऑपरेट करेगी।
आपका ये अभी जो बात चल रही है आपकी केंद्र सरकार से,
बिल्कुल चल रही है।
हम कब एक्सपेक्ट कर सकते हैं?
देखिए, बात तो उनसे काफी दिन से चल रही है, लेकिन जब आप मोदी जी को बुलाएंगे अपनी इंटरव्यू के लिए तब आप उनसे पूछ सकते हैं।
देखिए, अभी तो आप ही का इंटरव्यू है तो सारे सवाल आप ही से पूछने होंगे,
लेकिन कुछ सवालों के जवाब तो उनको देने होंगे ना जो जिम्मेदार है। प्रीति,
Let's cut across to my colleague Shivani, who's getting us up to speed with the latest situation. Shivani, the NCR region still unable to breathe, alarming levels where air pollution is concerned. What is it as an emergency measure that the Delhi government, in collaboration with the centre, the Haryana government and the UP government is looking at? Is there any chance that we could actually be looking at cloud seeding?
Today we've seen how the Delhi's Environment Minister Gopal Rai, he has written a letter to the Union Minister Bhupender Yadav, and he has said that we are still talking and we want experts to work it out, but there is no concrete action or a decision that has been taken. And on ground, when we are reporting right now, it is still no respite for Delhi NCR region because the air quality levels remain severely hazardous. There are medical issues with the young children, with the elders and the people with health issues. They are facing all the trouble, and it's becoming very difficult to breathe in this air. GRAP 4 has been in place, but we don't see the implementation that's severely serious. We've been showing our viewers in our report how there are these rules are being flouted openly. There's no severe action on ground implementing the GRAP 4. And as you were also speaking to the CM of Delhi, Atishi, she has been involved and totally in a blame game. She has been saying that the centre has to decide. The centre has not taken any concrete step or a solid decision has been taken. Gopal Rai, the Union Minister, the Environment Minister for Delhi, he has said that the responsibility lies with the centre to implement the cloud seeding or to work it out, because they have written a letter to the central government asking for it. And the BJP has been staging protests and they have been distributing masks. So the politics goes around, but there's no respite on ground, no solid action can be seen. But yes, as the Delhi administration says, the Delhi government says they are talking for cloud seeding. There might be a decision soon on this.
All right, but will that decision come soon enough is the big question, because caught in as collateral between all the politics between the centre, the Delhi government and the neighbouring states are the people of the NCR region struggling to breathe. We're going to keep this story as one of our top focus right here on India Today. Thank you, Shivani, for joining us. Let's quickly now shift focus to the latest coming in where the Sukhwinder Sukhu government of Himachal Pradesh is concerned. Himachal Bhavan in Delhi has now been attached by the Himachal High Court and may go up for auction. All of this after the Sukhu government failed to pay 64 crore rupees in electricity dues. The opposition trained guns on the Congress government, claiming Sukhu is destroying Himachal and the secretariat is at risk of being auctioned next. Himachal Pradesh is staring at a financial crisis with mounting debts and unpaid bills. Earlier, the government deferred ministers' salary for 2 months and delayed payments for employees and pensioners.
जो पावर प्रोजेक्ट हिमाचल प्रदेश में लगाना चाहती है, उसको आर्बिट्रेशन मिला है 64 करोड़ रुपए का अवार्ड किया है। आर्बिट्रेशन जो लोग हैं उन्होंने अवार्ड किया उसको और कहा कि आर्बिट्रेशन का 64 करोड़ रुपया मोजरबेयर कंपनी को दे दो। तो ये लीगल इशू है, हम इस लड़ाई को लड़ना चाहते हैं और निश्चित तौर पर ये जो पावर प्रोजेक्ट था ये अपफ्रंट प्रीमियम है। एक अपफ्रंट प्रीमियम का केस हम ब्रेकल के मामले में जीत चुके हैं, जिसमें 280 करोड़ रुपया आर्बिट्रेशन कोर्ट ने अवार्ड कर दिया था। उसके बाद जब हमने रिट की तो हाई कोर्ट ने वो फैसला हमारे पक्ष में दिया। उसी प्रकार का आर्बिट्रेशन जो ये है 64 करोड़ का जो मोजरबेयर का है, जो आर्बिट्रेशन कोर्ट ने उनकी फेवर में किया, उसके खिलाफ हम हाई कोर्ट में गए हैं।
मगर मेरा जयराम जी से निवेदन है कि हर चीज में राजनीतिक अवसर को तलाशना बंद करें, क्योंकि ये चीजें ऐसा नहीं है कि आज ही थी, ये बहुत लंबे समय से चलती है और आगे भी चलती रहेगी। अगर कल को दूसरी सरकार भी कभी कोई बनेगी तो उस समय भी ये मसले रहेंगे। मगर हमें ये देखना है कि राजनीति अपनी जगह है, मगर जो लीगल मसले है वो अपनी जगह है और हर चीज़ में इस तरीके से करने की आवश्यकता नहीं है। उनको तो ये होना चाहिए कि हम कितना सहयोग दिल्ली से लेकर आ रहे हैं उसके ऊपर बिल्कुल मौन है, कितना सहयोग वो केंद्र सरकार से हिमाचल के लिए ला रहे हैं उस पर कोई बात नहीं करते हैं। हर चीज़ में नकारात्मक राजनीति नहीं होनी चाहिए, सकारात्मक सोच होनी चाहिए, पॉजिटिव सोच होनी चाहिए कि हम हिमाचल के लिए क्या कर सकते हैं। हर चीज़ में नेगेटिव सोच रखना, हर चीज़ में क्रिटिसाइज करते रहना, मैं समझता हूँ ये भी कहीं ना कहीं सही नहीं है।
जो सेली प्रोजेक्ट का ये फैसला आया है और उसमें हिमाचल भवन मंडी हाउस जो मंडी ये दिल्ली में पड़ता है, तो एक ऐसा एक जो हमारे हिमाचल के लिए, हिमाचल का तो गर्व है, यानी कि दिल्ली में अगर हिमाचल का दिल है तो हिमाचल भवन है। कोई भी हिमाचली जाता है तो गर्व के साथ वहां जाता है, उसकी ही नीलामी की नौबत आ गई। लेकिन इससे तो सचमुच में पूरा हिमाचल प्रदेश अब चिंतित है कि अगर हिमाचल भवन की नीलामी हो गई तो आने वाले समय में तो स्थिति ये आएगी कहीं सचिवालय की नीलामी ना हो जाए, विधानसभा को इसके पास हमको गिरवी नहीं रखना पड़ जाए। ये स्थिति बन गई है हिमाचल प्रदेश की।
All right, light ahead of polling day, a spate of violent attacks in Maharashtra. In Nagpur, former Maharashtra Home Minister Anil Deshmukh was injured when stones were pelted at his car while returning from campaign. Opposition leaders, including Shiv Sena Uddhav faction, condemned the attack, calling it a cowardly act, accused Maharashtra Deputy CM Devendra Fadnavis of conspiring to attack Anil Deshmukh. Meanwhile, in Amravati, BJP candidate Pratap Adsad's sister was assaulted by 3 unidentified assailants, leaving her injured. In Hingoli, VBA candidate Dilip Maske was attacked, his car vandalized, and he sustained head and chest injuries. Probes are underway in all incidents.
मैं भारतीय जनता पार्टी वालों को इतना ही बताना चाहता हूं कि मेरे को पत्थर मारो या गोली मारो, अनिल देशमुख मरेगा नहीं। और आपको सबक सिखाए बगैर हम रहेंगे नहीं।
बात ऐसी है, महाराष्ट्र की कानून व्यवस्था, लॉ एंड ऑर्डर पूरी तरह से खत्म हो गई। इस राज्य में चुनाव में इस प्रकार की भयंकर हिंसा कभी नहीं हुई थी। देवेंद्र फडणवीस विद्यमान गृहमंत्री है, उनके शहर में महाराष्ट्र के पूर्व गृहमंत्री अनिल देशमुख के ऊपर उनको मारने की साजिश, उनकी हत्या करने की साजिश और उनको जिस तरह से हमला किया, आपने देखा उसका वीडियो, पूरा सर टूट गया है, फूट गया है। कौन जिम्मेदार है? चुनाव आयोग के हाथ में पूरे सूत्र रहते हैं ना, तो सबसे पहले चुनाव आयोग जिम्मेदार है।
Meanwhile, now 12 hours remain before Maharashtra polls and all eyes will be on the Baramati seat where people are witnessing a Pawar versus Pawar feud. A battle between Maharashtra Deputy Chief Minister Ajit Pawar and his nephew Yogendra Pawar. And on the last day of campaigning, the women of the Pawar family were all out in campaign. NCP SP Supremo Sharad Pawar's wife Pratibha Pawar, who's never been seen on the campaign trail, has hit the campaign trail this time for her great-grandnephew Yogendra Pawar in family bastion Baramati. On the other hand, Ajit Pawar's mother Asha Pawar also attended son's rally in Baramati. While remembering NCP's loss during Lok Sabha elections, Maharashtra Deputy CM Ajit Pawar made an emotional appeal to the people of Baramati to continue the tradition and make him victorious with a huge margin.
मी माग थोडासा एकटा पडलेलो होतो, परंतु यावेळेस माझी आई माझ्या बरोबर आहे, यावेळेस माझ्या बहिणी माझ्या बरोबर आहेत. मी एवढं काम केलं, मी एवढं सगळं सांगितलं, तरी देखील बारामतीकरांनी मला लोकसभेला झटका दिला नाही. जोर का झटका, लेकिन धीरे से लगा, लगा. पण त्यावेळेस त्यांनी ठरवलं होतं सुप्रियाताईंना लोकसभेला आणि विधानसभेला दादा. आता ते ठरवलंय, ते तसं करा. आता तुम्ही जेवढ्या जास्त मताधिक्याने मला पाठवाल, तेवढे जास्त निधी हा अजित पवार बारामती करता आणेल.
All right, the big story of the hour, viewers, that is coming in from the state of Maharashtra is the cash for votes row, which is snowballing where the state is concerned, and bang in the center of it is the Bharatiya Janata Party. With just hours left for polling, a fresh escalation by the Bahujan Vikas Aghadi against BJP's Vinod Tawde. The BVA chief claims a BJP plot against the General Secretary, claiming he received a tip-off on the alleged cash distribution by a top BJP neta. Meanwhile, Rahul Gandhi also has waded into the controversy, launching a safe jibe against Prime Minister Modi, questioning from which safe did the 5 crore rupees that Tawde was allegedly distributing come from. The BJP has come out all guns blazing, calling the charges against Tawde a conspiracy. BJP says it's a last-ditch attempt by the opposition to sway voters. Meanwhile, FIRs have been filed against Mr. Tawde as well as the local candidate.
ये महिलाएं, इनके थ्रू महिलाओं पे डाउट नहीं आता, इसलिए इनके थ्रू पैसा बांटना. 19-20 लाख रुपया तो उधर मिला. 5 करोड़ का आवाज आया था. मुझे बीजेपी के शीर्ष नेता ने इंफॉर्मेशन दी थी कि ऐसे ऐसे ये बांटने वाले, लेकिन अभी ध्यान में रखने का, बांटेंगे तो पीटेंगे, हम भी आगे पीछे नहीं देखेंगे.
अभी पुलिस किस तरह बांटेंगे, पैसा बांटेंगे तो जीतेंगे ना. हाँ, बांटेंगे तो कटेंगे नहीं. भाजपा वाले पैसा बांटेंगे तो ही जीतेंगे. मुझे आश्चर्य होता कि आप पार्टी के अंदर ही कुछ ऐसा मामला हुआ है इंटरनल पॉलिटिक्स में, महाराष्ट्र के गृह मंत्रालय की तरफ से, कि तावड़े जी को ऊपर नजर रखो, तावड़े जी के पास कौन जा रहा है आ रहा है, और उस बारे में पूरी जानकारी वो जहां बैठे थे काम करने के लिए उन विरोधियों को दे दो. इतने सालों से तावड़े जी और बीजेपी वाले काम करते हैं महाराष्ट्र में, अभी भी चल रहा है, लेकिन तावड़े जी को ही क्यों पकड़ कर दिया, उस बारे में अब देवेंद्र जी को सामने आकर जनता को बताना पड़ेगा. तावड़े ही क्यों.
Meanwhile, in Nashik, 1.97 crore rupees was seized from Shiv Sena candidate Eknath Shinde faction Jayant Sathe's room. The irrigation department officer was also present in the room at the time. Let's quickly cut across right now to my colleague Saurabh Vakhtania, who's joining us live from Mumbai with the latest coming in. Lots of news swirling where cash for vote is concerned, Saurabh, but bang in the middle of it is no one but the General Secretary of the Bharatiya Janata Party, Vinod Tawde. FIRs have been filed. What's the detail that you can give us? Was cash found on Mr. Tawde?
Let me give you the latest breaking on India Today right now. What we have exclusively spoken to the Palghar District Collector Govind Bodke, and speaking exclusively to India Today, he has clearly said that there are total 3 FIRs been filed in this particular matter. One is how Vinod Tawde came to this particular constituency in Virar. He cannot go outside his constituency or cannot campaign, so his name in this particular FIR. But most importantly is about the cash which is been seized. Govind Bodke, while speaking to India Today, clearly said that around 9,93,500 rupees was found from this particular hotel, where right now collector, election commission officials all are present inside. Pretty, let me tell you what we are breaking on exclusively on India Today, that total 4 rooms were booked. These 4 rooms were booked in the names of 4 different people, but in the bracket it was written Rajan Naik. Now, who is Rajan Naik? Rajan Naik is the local BJP candidate over here, and there is the twist over here. The election commission in their FIR has also filed the FIR. They have named Rajan Naik, the BJP candidate name, for this particular cash thing. What the officials told us, that out of this 4 rooms, from 2 rooms, from 410 and 416, cash was found. In one room around 9 lakh was found. The rest of amount was found from the other room, and this were in bracket in the name of Rajan Naik, who is the BJP candidate from this particular area. So this is a very serious allegations and very serious controversy on senior BJP leader Vinod Tawde, who has been seen so many elections in the past.
Saurabh, I want to clarify once for our viewers. So Vinod Tawde's name has not been mentioned in the FIR on which the local candidate's name is given, where the room is concerned. Was Vinod Tawde in one of the rooms where the cash was recovered? Is there any connection that can be made where the cash is concerned and Vinod Tawde? And what of the diary, Saurabh? Because apparently a diary was recovered from Mr. Tawde, in which booth by booth allegations have been made that cash was delivered.
So we have this particular FIR. This is the exclusive copy of the FIR, which I would like to show viewers on India Today. This is particular FIR, which is about the cash which has been seized. Now, the first, if you see, Preeti, it has been written Bharatiya Janata Party Padadhikari, and then it is Rajan Naik, Vinod Tawde, Manoj Borot. So this particular FIR is about the particularly the campaigning which has happened. Now, the second FIR is one of the most important one. Let me tell you, this FIR is basically about the cash which has been seized. Now, in this cash which is seized, you see the first name is of Rajan Naik. Now, who is Rajan Naik? That particular person is the BJP candidate, and there were total 4 rooms which were booked on different people's name, but in the bracket it was written that this room is for Rajan Naik. So particularly, if you can understand that these rooms were booked by the BJP
but
people,
Vinod Tawde has no connection to these 4 rooms, right, Saurabh?
Cash was found. But Preeti, Vinod Tawde was present in this particular room.
He was present
clearly telling us that when around 50 to 60 BVA workers, they stormed inside this hotel, they got a tip off. Maybe it is from the BJP, what their senior leader is saying. But when 50 to 60 BVA workers stormed into this particular hotel, on the 4th floor, there was cash which was found. There was money distribution which was going on.
And Vinod Tawde was in the same room.
Ground floor restaurant, if I can. Yes, absolutely. Vinod Tawde was present over here. Here you can see this
Second question, Saurabh. There was a diary that was shown, allegedly been found on Vinod Tawde, where multiple entries of cash onto which booth was given. Are these allegations correct?
Well, absolutely. There was one bag which was found with cash. Second was the diary which was with Kshitiz Thakur. He clearly said that there was lot of people names which were mentioned in that particular diary, and ahead of those names there was cash which was to be given. What Vinod Tawde is right now saying that they don't have anything to do with particular incident. We need to understand their side also. What he is saying right now is a statement which has been issued. He was saying that he was just coming to brief and guide the BJP worker of this particular area, because they need to increase the voting percentage, and that is when the BVA workers came in and they started to throw away money in the air. This is the particular hotel where this entire incident has unfolded, which has been seized, and there was a lot of cash which was found.
Sir, we're running out of time, but thank you there for giving us all the details that you did. Important details coming in, 2 FIRs that have been filed.